Hey everyone, Random Randy here. This is Yarn Talk episode 84. This is going to be pretty short because even though I have 3 finished objects, 2 of them are super small and I have 1 active work in progress and a sales announcement that I'm going to tell you all at the end. So it's been about 2 weeks since the last time I did a video, and another reason this is going to be super short is because school is done, so Hunter is home. This is one of the first days we've had kind of chilly, gloomy, crappy weather this summer. So, needless to say, the boys are at each other's throats, and I'm over it. I think the next time they drive me up the wall, I'm just gonna hop on my broom and fly out through the hole in the ceiling. It's been one of those kind of days. So, moving on to the things that are finished. The first one is this right here, which I'm wearing, and I actually made this for Hunter to wear to school for Hawaiian shirt day because we don't have any Hawaiian shirts for him. And I considered buying one of those plastic leis from the dollar store, and I was like, or I could be super thrifty and just make him one. So I let him pick the yarn, and he actually picked this. What is this type of yarn? I know it's Big Twist Sincerely. It is blue confetti, and as you can see, this particular skein was floppy and horrible and bad, and I haven't bothered rewinding it because I just don't want to right now. Maybe when I use more of it, we'll see. But yeah, Big Twist Sincerely, which is a Joann's exclusive. It's like their store brand of yarn, and it's a white and blue speckle. And as you can see from this pattern is the Maui Blossom Scarf from Fiberflux. The difference is I made to the pattern where I didn't make it nearly as long as it called for because it's for my 6-year-old. It doesn't need to wrap around and around, so I just varied. I actually made it so that I didn't have to keep cutting the yarn every time I made a new flower. I would just chain as many as I wanted in between the flowers, and as you can see, I did a varying number of chains. And this biggest one was where I put it so it would go around the back of his neck with all of the flowers actually showing. But I just did the chain, and then I would do 4 extra, join it into a loop, do the first round. And you can kind of see how that looks on the back there. Now, if I was going to be super particular about it, and it was for something quasi-professional, I may have starched the flowers so that they'd stay open, because they do kind of tend to curl in on themselves a bit. But it was still pretty cool. It was cute. He liked it. He was the only one like it in his class, obviously. And it didn't cost me anything. I made it maybe an hour-ish, maybe a little more than an hour. And I was watching Lucifer, the most recent season that's on Netflix. Yeah. We don't talk about the ending of the most recent season, although they have announced a season 5, so it's not completely lost. I was pretty upset at the end of season 4. Made sense, but I was angry. If you watch Lucifer, you probably had similar feelings. But that is enough of that. The actual pattern for this, I believe, called for making it something like 70 inches long or something crazy like that, and that would have just been way too much for Hunter to have around his teeny little neck. So this, and now it is something that they can play with. So that's the first thing. The other thing is mostly done. I just have to weave in ends because I didn't realize that I was done with it. It was still attached to the ball and everything when I went to look for it this morning, and all I have to do is weave in the ends and it's done. So done enough to show it to you all. This is a Sedge stitch washcloth that I'm going to be making a video tutorial for soon, so you'll be able to learn the Sedge stitch if you don't already know it, and it'll give you the dimensions for making it into a washcloth, so you're not only learning a stitch, you'll have a useful product made from it at the end. And yes, I just did it with scraps, so I wasn't really particular about the striping. This was one of the denim colored Lily Sugar and Cream, and this is the Also Lily Sugar and Cream Overcast Twist, this white, black, and gray that's on the top. So it gives it a really nice texture without it being too bumpy, and I think that this would probably honestly make a really nice Afghan too with this stitch. So, mostly done, aside from the ends, which will take me all of 5 minutes that I could have done before I filmed, but as I said, kids. Every time I've sat down, this is like the 4th time I'm trying to do this right now. I'll just finally get settled and have everything in my lap, and then pandemonium in the living room, so it's all good. It's all good. This is the last thing that I have done, and I wish I would have adapted it before I got halfway through it, so I decided to just leave it as it is, but I am still very much pleased with the result because it is just wide enough for my giant feet, and it is squishy and will make doing dishes much more comfortable. This is the unblocked because the bottom of it still keeps trying to stretch back in on itself. This is the Simply Satisfying Rug Mat by Kendra from Hooked by Happenstance. This is a pattern that is at her, I believe it's the $8 tier to have access to Peachlet's pattern pile that's over on Patreon. That was a lot of P's. Very alliterative, very Kendra. But yeah, so this, rather than using 2 regular strands of worsted weight cotton, I used the Bernat Maker Outdoor Stripes, which is a bulky weight yarn. It's a 5. And the other one that I put on it, or with it rather, is a Bernat Handicrafter Holiday Cotton. It's got the silver glitter in it. But the stripe is called Fresh Red Stripe. Fresh Red Stripe, and it's a 5. So this, combined with a strand of regular worsted weight, I ended up using a K-hook, a 6.5 millimeter. The actual pattern calls for typically a J. She said to use something that gives you kind of a stiff fabric, and this is pretty stiff. I probably could have gone down to a J and it would be a little more compact. As it is, I really like the texture that it has. It will be very squishy to stand on. My only complaint is that with how wide it is, I only had 1 ball of the Bernat Outdoor Stripe, and I used everything except a teeny tiny little ball that wouldn't have been enough to make even 1 more full stripe. So, when I make another one, which I definitely will be, I'm going to be using my other ball of the Outdoor Stripe, which I got on clearance for $5. I think it ended up being less than that because coupons at Joann's. But this is Fresh Orange Stripe. So I'm going to pair this with another regular cotton. Not sure which one yet because I have a whole shelf up here that is cotton stuff. But I'm going to make it shorter starting number of stitches so that I can make it more of a wide mat, because as it is, it's quite long. She actually gives the finished dimensions in the pattern, but I am a dummy and started working on this while I was sitting out in the sun, so I didn't think about how wide it was compared to how much yarn I was using. So this was actually the last row up here. But yeah, I really like it. It's very comfortable. I actually had it set down on the floor here. Was resting my feet on it and just kind of squishing it with my toes because it was so comfy to lean on. The only other yarny thing I have that I'm working on right now is the top that I showed you last time, and it is the Crochet Scalloped Top by Lorna Miser. This is a free pattern from Karen. I'll leave links for all of the patterns and everything down in the description box below the video, so if you want to make these things yourself, you definitely can. And I am making this top in Dayglow and Blacklight, both Red Heart Super Saver yarns, and it will probably annihilate the white balance on the camera, so bear with me. But as you can see, it starts out, it's bottom up, so you make it the width you need it to be to fit your torso, and then you get up to the proper length, and then it's gonna go here and get wider for sleeves, which is gonna be super awesome. I really like it so far. It actually works up pretty quick. I just haven't thought to work on it in about a week. But when I showed it to you last time, I had just really gotten started, and I was down here where the little heart marker is, so I really didn't have much. I did the rest of this in less than 2 evenings of work, so it goes pretty quick because it's lacy. It's gonna be awesome. Maybe, if I have another yarn talk in 2 weeks, I'll have it done by then. We will see. Things are crazy. So, I have been sewing a bit. I am still not completely caught up on everything I wanted to have done by now, but I've gotten some work done. If you follow my Etsy shop over on Etsy, it's Anseer Handmade, and I have posted some bags recently of varying sizes and a couple of different prints. But right now, starting today, today is the 18th, I actually posted the sale last night. The sale is active now through July 1st. If you buy any 3 items in my Etsy shop, you save 30%. Doesn't matter what the 3 items are. You could buy a digital pattern, hand-dyed skein of yarn, project bag, 30% off. Buy 3 stitch markers, 30% off. Doesn't matter what it is, it works for everything in the shop, and it's good until the 1st of July. But I wanted to show you one of the bags now that I actually have some of the llama bags sewn up. This is what I call the sock size bag, and this is the llama print. Isn't it cute? Look at the llamas. I'm pretty sure I showed you guys the fabric, but not how it looks on the bag itself last time. And this is one of the interiors that looks very much like vintage sheets from the 70s. I really, really like it. Just need to put the drawstring in a bunch of these, and they'll be good to go out the door. They are already listed in the shop because threading drawstrings takes less than 10 minutes per bag, so not a lot of work to be done. But I like to wait until I have a few of them so I can sit down and just kind of do it all at once and get it done. That is really all I have for all of you right now. I'm planning to do a separate video that's kind of a lifey vlog, just kind of letting everybody know what's going on with all of the insanity that is my life right now, because a lot of things have happened in the past few months and a lot of things are in process right now, so I'm kind of all over the place. Yeah. So I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody for watching. Thank you to everybody who stuck around. I am now over 3,600 subscribers, which is fabulous. Well on my way, working up to that 7,500 I'm aiming for by the end of the year, right? Yes, we can do it. Especially if I can actually get some more tutorials done soon, like I'm hoping to do. I'm still kind of in that school got done last week hangover phase, like the kids' schedules are just totally off. And as a result, my entire schedule is completely off. I know we'll adjust in another week or so, but it's just everything all over the place. I'm just so over it. Oh, and I'm majorly sunburnt too. Well, I was sunburnt. Now it's just a horrible, horrible tan. Yeah. So again, thank you so much everybody for watching. Thank you to all the awesome people over at Patreon who help keep this going, because you guys are almost completely paying for all of my editing software every month, which is fabulous. I love you so much. I love everybody who watches, and stay tuned for within the next week-ish. I also have a giveaway that I'm going to be posting. Probably one of the last physical giveaways I'm going to do for a while, because my ability to ship things in the next couple of weeks to months is going to be kind of difficult to come by. Not necessarily impossible, but it's going to take some juggling to make everything work the way that I want it to. So, I will catch you all in the next video. Stay calm, crochet on, and always be yourself. Bye guys.